I met a gypsy.
What before we get into that, what's your take on your boy Chase?
Oh man, last week, or what was that? What race was that?
Yeah, this week.
Yeah,
Arlington.
Arlington.
Did you watch it?
I did. I almost felt it coming.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
During the race?
No, like at the end, like after the stall, like I could tell, like he wanted it after that, right? Like I don't know. He saw a gap and went for it, and man, he was plenty fast.
Dude, he was very fast.
Yeah, I feel like he's got more speed now than he's ever had, and so like I think, yes, I kind of saw it coming. I feel like.
What's the race that you're a good guy to talk to about this as a professional racer, and in a sport there's a lot of crashes. It's not. I feel like in our sport, you really can't crash. Obviously, like the consequences are gnarly, but also it's exactly what you said. Like the way that you put it is so good. It's averages. Like you have to have a certain average to win a championship, which makes errors, unforced errors, and crashes so costly.
Yeah.
And then in the press conference, he says, I'm a racer, I'm going for the win, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, there's an argument to be made for that. But I think in the situation where, like, at least for me, he lost the battle and the war. So, like, he was trying to win a battle within a battle that goes towards the war, but it's like you could have not won that race and still won the battle, which is first place on the night, and still won the war by leaving with the points. Like that, it just seemed like just didn't add up in that.
Yeah,
in
but
that
I
way.
think I mean, obviously he knows there's more racing left, I guess, and he feels like I would assume he feels like he's the fastest, best guy that's left, that they're racing against, right? And he's outlasted some of the guys, and I think if that's the last race, I don't think he takes that chance, right? Because he knows what he needs to win the championship. Now, he hopes that when he gets down to the end of the season that's not what cost it, the championship. But I assume he knew he would win if he finished second. I don't know that, but I don't know. I think, for us, I mean, there's plenty of times where, so our sport is a little bit different right now, is, when they restacked and redid how they do the playoffs. If you win one race, you're theoretically in the champion, in the playoffs.
Yes, automatic qualification.
Unless there's more than 16 winners, which rarely is there. There's generally 12 to 13. So realistically, you win a race, you're in. So like like that race didn't really mean anything. The race was the overall champion, the overall finish, right, for that weekend.
Yeah.
So he gave a race win up to win
a moto.
That's tough when you look at it like that.
Yeah. And that's my perspective on it. And I'm trying to, like, I'm a huge Chase fan. Like, and I'm a fan of him as a person too. Like he's a cool dude, right? But like I'm trying to just, I don't know, like call it as I see it in a way where it's like, dude, you actually were winning the
You
battle.
won the race. You
wanted to win the
race.
battle,
Yeah.
right? And I think that there's a element that I understand of like, I want to win that race and show that I'm the guy. But it's also like, can't you just walk into the press conference after winning and being in the middle of the podium and literally just say, when one of us softball questions you the way that we always fucking do, because no one's allowed to have any kind of gnarly take on something.
Yeah.
And just say like, oh yeah, I let Cooper win.
Yeah. Who cares?
Everyone knows you were the fastest guy.
Yeah.
Like it was very obvious.
After the stall, I think it would be, and I mean, again, it's always easier to go back after the fact. I'm sure if he went back, he'd be like, hey, I would run second, right? But, I think you get caught up in the moment, I'm sure. And and wanting to show like
Yeah.
everybody, like even though you got back to his, rear wheel, like people know that you were clearly faster.
Yeah, and that's what you just walk in and say
Yeah.
that straight up, and everyone everyone
That'd be
knows
gnarly.
it.
Yeah.
You just walk in and be like,
let him win.
I let him win. Why
Yeah.
the fuck would I pass the guy?
Yeah, I didn't need to.
I didn't need to. I was way faster.
I did my
than
work
him.
in the first 2 motos. Like,
Look at the lap times.
Yeah.
I crashed. I caught him. And then that's like big dick energy right there. Like if that's what you're going for, because
Yeah.
to me, from the outside looking in, that was an ego play of like, I
Yeah.
need to pass to get this win. And it's just like, you can do that in other ways.
problem
like
is now you gave Coop like just
crack the door.
yeah, and I feel like you don't want to play mind games with him.
No. And it's been 3 weekends in a row, and like the problem is you don't want to get into a championship fight with Cooper Webb,
Yeah.
where for the last 4 rounds he needs to get second.
Yeah,
Because guess who's getting second
Yeah.
every single week
Yeah.
for 4 weeks in a row.
yeah,
And
he
that-
knows what he needs to do.
And the other thing,
I can't wait to watch the rest of the season.
he's giving us a crazy good season
Oh yeah,
with like this stuff happening. The other thing too is like when you see him sitting down by himself at the end of it and the head, it's like, okay, so your words are telling me that you're just going to win and you don't care, you're a racer. That's the words. But by dropping your bike and sitting with your hands in your face, that tells like the actions say different
yeah,
to the words. And again, I'm being a little bit, I'm
Yeah.
criticizing a little bit, but I feel like that's my viewpoint on it,
yeah. I mean, I think and especially like if I was like on the team, I'm a little concerned. Like again, like you said, like you are the guy, you're the fastest, you've shown that. But then like after that, you're like, you just got to get back up and just know that you're the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if I've ever sat there like that, but like I've made plenty of dumb moves, so I probably have.
Well, I mean, you guys it's one of the cool things about moto, really. Like some of the images, like, Griff got some epic shots of him sitting there like that, and like the
There's a lot of
That's
emotion
very
and like
dramatic.
raw stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like, for us, like race is over. If it's a crash, like you end up going back to the garage. You got to go to the infield care center. You get all checked out before really ever
you have to
anybody
face
ever sees
anything.
you.
Yeah.
So then like I don't feel like you don't get that side of it where, man, you just laid it all on the line. It didn't work out. If I do that and it doesn't work out, like at the end of the 500, and I got to go to the infield care center, and like, well, heck, by the time you get out, you're like, it's been 20, 30 minutes. So it's like you don't get that. So, I mean, I don't know exactly how I would react in that situation, right? I mean, I feel like you see a lot of NBA, NFL guys, especially lately, the NFL, like they lose the Super Bowl and they're just standing on the field. I feel like that's a similar moment. Luckily for Chase, he didn't lose the championship yet, right?
Yeah.
Like he still has an opportunity to go win it. And so it'll be interesting to see how he kind of bounces back from that.
Yeah. 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 No, you're so right. Like you guys are just so protected.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.